What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom video. Alright, so looks like we got some interesting information coming off of the previews. This video is a little late because I was going to do this video yesterday, but I wanted to watch some more previews, break down some more stuff to see if there was anything I missed. I think I pretty much got what I want to talk about, though. So, because a subscriber actually told me to go and watch Zeltic's video. Because I watched the IGN video, I watched the GameStop video, I watched Game Explain's video, but they told me to go watch Zeltic. I was like, okay, I'll go watch Zeltic's. And yeah, there's a little bit more to talk about. So of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. You can also check out my second channel where I talk about stuff that other than Nintendo and anime. Alright, so a lot of newcomers here. Welcome aboard. Like those last 3 videos, I've got a lot of subscribers. I think like we've got at least 20, maybe a little bit more than 20 people, which is big for me. At least in a couple days span, you know. So we are that much closer to hitting 1,000. But let's get into this. Alright, so first thing, I wanted to drop the spoiler warning. Alright, because with these previews now out, it seems like that post I made, the videos I made, might be a little bit more credible. Now, I'm not going to come out right and say that they're real, because there is still a chance that they're fake, that they're just very, very close. And the whole thing was just a really, really good, you know, fake leak. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with a lot of fake leaks before, so, you know, it's possible it could be. But they seem a lot more credible now looking at the actual previews. So, spoiler warning, if you don't want to know anything about the game before it comes out, I'm not going to do any spoiler details, but this is details about the abilities, specifically jump to this point in the video. There's also timestamps in the description and in the pinned comment. So if at any point you want to be like, hey, I'm tapping out, then it is what it is. I feel you. But we're going to hop on into this, though. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the ability wheel. So it seems like there's a wheel that Link has that has all his abilities on it, which kind of makes sense because you're going to be switching up back and forth kind of on the fly in the game. So it will make sense that there's a wheel. So we see 6 abilities on the wheel, right? Technically 5, but there is 6 abilities, 7 spots, and there's the amiibo thing. So the first one you see, right, the yellow spot is actually the map. So that's how you get to your map. That's not an ability at all. That's why I said it's 6 abilities in all on the wheel here. So then the one right next to it going this way is Ascend. So of course the ability where you teleport up through a platform. More than likely the other unannounced ability, Descend, will be in the same place as Ascend once you get to a descendable platform. So there's no real reason to give that one its own slot. Then we have this blanked out slot here. So more than likely that's an ability that you haven't gotten yet, because at that point in the game you just don't have that ability. But that could be any of the other abilities that we haven't heard of yet. That could be Morph, that could be Grapple, that could be Glide, because those are the 3 abilities that we haven't heard of yet. So then of course the orange one is Ultra Hand. So that one's Ultra Hand. Then of course the one at the bottom is Fuse, and the one all the way to the left is Recall. But then there is this new one, which is these purple hands. And we don't really know what they do. Alright, it's editor me here. So after I recorded this video, Central Pokemon Leaks of all people actually had a little bit of a Zelda leak where a screenshot and a video of what the purple hand ability is and does was actually leaked on Twitter. Now I got the screenshot here. I'm not going to play the video mainly because I like my channel. I do. So it looks like it is auto build. So from what the video shows, auto build essentially builds the last thing that you built. So I'm guessing that the game kind of saves the last thing you built so that you can build it again on the fly. Now I don't know if this is like a one-time use thing. So like, oh, like say you can use auto build once to build the thing that you had last built, and then you have to build it manually again in order for it to work again, or is this just saves it forever? Does it save everything you build? I don't know. That would be kind of weird. But yeah, so that's what the purple hand is. So there you go. So this does kind of change things a little bit. I still think that the big Reddit post still has validity because I mean, Zeltic did mention an ability that sounds a lot like Glide, so we still have that. But yep, that's what it is. The only clue we have is this one little tidbit from Zeltic.
New ability here you haven't seen yet. I did get to play around with this, but I'm not allowed to show you what it does or mention it by name. I can say that it isn't available from near the start of the game, like Ultra Hand, Recall, Ascend and Fuse. Instead, it's obtained later on, and it streamlines the Ultra Hand building process to make things more convenient.
Okay, so essentially that right there shows that this ability has something to do with Ultra Hand. Speaking of abilities, there's another ability. Now this is where the credibility comes into play. So this is where things look very credible. So Zeltic actually, during his video, said this.
First objective complete, I then took to the skies, using a new method not seen before in trailers or gameplay demos that, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to show here. Ultra Hand.
Oh, that could very well reference the Glide ability. Alright, because, I mean, he said he got to this island with an ability that he couldn't talk about, probably due to NDA. The only thing I can think of that could help you get around the Sky Islands as an ability would be Glide. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, we know that Glide doesn't look like this now. We know that Glide, you know, that this is just a thing that's around the world. So maybe Glide is a real ability. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting right there. So I mean, that's why I'm saying that it kind of gives credence to the leak, to the leaks that came out. So nothing that would pertain to anything like Morph or Grab or Grapple have been revealed in the game yet. But that doesn't mean that they're not there though. They could be very like late game type of things you get. All right, now welcome to the non-spoiler section of this video, or at least as non-spoiler as I can do. So the next part we saw here was this part right here. So this one was Zeltic was battling a contraption or one of the Guardian things, and they were shooting rocket arrows at him. And he said this.
I faced a Zonai construct on a floating platform, who tried to snipe me with arrows fused with rockets. I tried to use recall on a rocket to send it back at the construct, but unfortunately it doesn't look like this is possible, so I opted to send my own rocket back with the bow.
So basically with this, to me that makes it sound like you can't use like Sheikah abilities on something, I mean not Sheikah abilities, Zonai abilities on something that already kind of is a Zonai thing. So what I mean that is like, if somebody uses Fuse to fuse a rocket on an arrow and they shoot it at you, you can't use Recall, which is another Zonai ability, to send it back, because the Zonai abilities cancel each other out. Which is kind of interesting, you know what I'm saying? That's super interesting, because that means that the Zonai enemies are going to be harder to fight, because you can't necessarily combat them by sending their Zonai stuff back at them. You have to use your own stuff. You know, that doesn't mean you can't use a fused arrow to kill them. You can still do that. It's just that Recall and maybe some of the other abilities won't work against them. So the other thing that I actually gleaned from the trailer was this. So you have a battery pack on you that is upgradable that allows you to charge these Zonai implements and Zonai tech that you have. So there was now I can't really show the picture of this because last time I showed this picture, the video got assassinated by Nintendo ninjas. But in the art book, there was a Sheikah slate that looked like a Switch. It looked like a Nintendo Switch, and Link had it on his side, and he had it connected to like a pulley system, like a pulley system like thing. And so nobody can figure out what that was. Now we know what it is. We know that it's this right here. Basically the battery pack, the Zonai battery pack. So it's not a Sheikah slate, it's probably a Zonai slate now. You know what I'm saying? And that charges all your Zonai tech. And the last little tidbit that I got that I thought was pretty important was the Zonai tech itself, the Zonai parts. So it looks like there are collectible items that you can find throughout the world. So they're finite. So you don't have like an infinite amount of them, which I think is pretty good. This way you kind of have to have, like, if you're going on a journey or you're going on an adventure to a certain area, you kind of have to have enough implements to be able to build stuff with. So you have to think. You have to manage your resources. And I love that in a video game. One of the reasons why I love Fire Emblem is I like resource management. And I know people don't really like stuff like that in the Zelda game. They don't like the whole weapon durability and crafting and all that kind of stuff. But I dig it though. And I've heard a lot of people say that this is too much like Breath of the Wild Plus. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Breath of the Wild was good though. It was good though. But the fact that these are like these collectible items is actually pretty interesting. Because now the only bad part about this is you can get them from like a gacha machine. Like I think it would be better if they made you have to find them or made you have to craft them. That would make it even more interesting because then it feels like, oh, I gotta go and work and get this and I gotta go craft and build this so then I can prepare to go on my adventure. Like, I guess they didn't want to make it too hard for like casuals to do. So hopefully there's a way you can craft them without having to go to the gacha machine all the time because it feels kind of lame. But other than that, I think this is pretty much about it as far as stuff that we got from the preview. I mean, we got to see like some of the enemies and how like some of the enemies have armor now. But as far as that, the preview pretty much told us everything that we kind of needed to know. So that's about it for this. This was just a quick one, just telling you about what was going on with the previews and some of the interesting stuff that I have found. I do have other videos coming up. You know what I'm saying? I do have a wish list of things that I would like to see in the video. Stuff like in Tears of the Kingdom, stuff like that. So that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.